Hi everyone, my name is Matthew Woods and welcome to the Weather World channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a very special project that I've been working on for the past month and a half that will essentially make weather balloons a whole lot reusable. I'm going to try and make a glider and return it from the stratosphere exactly from where it started from. It's a very complex project, and in this video, I'm just going to be giving you guys an update as to where the project is. So without further ado, let's get into this. So update number 1. I was originally thinking of making only one flight computer for this glider, but essentially, to reduce complexity and to get this project working a lot more smoothly, I've decided to make two, despite it sounding completely counterintuitive. Now, flight computer number 1 is going to control things such as navigation, calculating the right angle in which it should be pointing at, in a 360 loop. It's going to have magnetometers attached to it and a GPS unit, so that I can find out the longitude and latitude, do a ton of math, and land it safely. The second one is going to control things such as pyro ejection charges, parachute deployment, and cutting itself away from the weather balloon in the case of an emergency, or at a specific altitude if we want to have shorter or longer flights. So we can control it with flight computer number 2. I don't have a good name for either one of these flight computers yet, but I will be figuring that out, and you could help me by putting a name down in the description down below if you have an idea for a flight computer name. Update number 2, I've started to make the actual flight computer. It's only one flight computer right now. It runs on an Arduino Uno, and yes, this does use C++. I'm trying to write code so that it'll use the first computer software and computer software number 2 on the same system, which sounds kind of weird, and it's like,
Matthew, why don't you just put it on the same system?
This is what it looks like now. It's pretty janky. You can see there's a ton of wiring, a ton of complexity to this thing, but it has a GPS, it has 2 LED channels to signal different events in flight, and it also has, like I said, an Arduino Uno. It has 2 servos and a magnetometer to detect its heading. The heading calculations are going to be kind of weird with this flight computer because, I mean, with the magnetometer, I have a Mag 3110, and the initial code calls for it not to be in a 360 radius. What? Which, if you want to be more simple with it, it means that it doesn't measure entirely in 360 degrees. It goes from 0 to 90, it goes from 0 to 180 on one hemisphere, and then negative 179 to negative 1 on the other hemisphere. So you got to find out heading a lot more differently when it comes to this kind of magnetometer on this flight computer. So that's going to be kind of hard to calculate. I could demonstrate right here in just a second of what I mean. But just for a little bit of reference, I drew up some math on the board, just so that we can get some reference of what I'm trying to talk about when it comes to the 360 loop and how to calculate the proper angle / heading as to where the vehicle should be pointed to throughout the entire flight. So let's just say we're on the Pacific Ocean, and these are the actual coordinates. I took the coordinates of 38.1219 and negative 125.2938. This is going to be x1 and y1. This will be our start position. And we're trying to head to these coordinates right here, which is 38.1593 and negative 125.5255. I know I don't have the best handwriting, please don't judge me. But anyways, we're going to try and calculate slope and then throw it into a tangent function to get us the correct angle heading as to where the vehicle should be pointed in a specific circle frame, so that it can head to the proper destination accordingly. So what we're going to do is we're going to do y2 minus y1, which should get us about negative 0.2325, and then if we do x2 minus x1, it should get us something close to 0.0374. And what we're going to do with these two values is throw it into a tangent function. So we're going to take a calculator, and you take tangent negative 1, so that'd be second tangent, and you throw negative 0.2325, which would be your expected y value, and then your 0.0374, which would be your x value on the bottom, and then you do that, you throw it into your calculator, and you solve it, and you should get about negative 80 degrees. Now, if you plot this on the actual diagram, if you plot this in the actual ocean, and you put it in the circle frame, which it does look like this. It's not 360 loop. It's has 2 hemispheres, so the right side will be positive numbers and the left side will be negative numbers. So what's going to happen is that it's going to fall on the left side since we're heading to the northwest. And the northwest is obviously going to be pointing into the negative vectors. So what's going to happen is that if you look in the general direction, it does line up roughly around negative 80 degrees, right where that falls around. So I believe our calculations are somewhat close to correct. And this math should validate. We will for sure end up at the finish point of 38.1593 and negative 125.5255. Now, if you try if you try other vectors such as southeast, southwest, northeast, northwest, all those, there will be some different math involved because it's not a 360 loop. So you're gonna have to throw in some different functions there. I'm not gonna get to that in this video, but this is just a general idea of the type of math we're dealing with. Now, there's a problem that I ran into with the software on the Arduino, where the Arduino just kind of likes to round stuff. So I'll try this same problem in Arduino, and what happens is that it rounds it off to 0. Since these values are so small, the Arduino automatically rounds it to 0. So if it's maybe 1.2, it'll round it immediately down to 1, or 5.6, and it'll still round it down to 5. So what happens is that I'm having a little bit of trouble of getting these right values to divide correctly and give us a proper decimal, in which we need the exact decimals divided to get the right angle. And if we don't, we could end up with a completely different angle of attack. We could end up with a completely different heading. The vehicle heads in the wrong direction and could eventually cause damage down the line, which is not good. That's not what we want. We want to return exactly from where it started from. So that's the kind of stuff I've been working with. Like I said, I've been working on the flight computer. I will be designing a few PCBs. I've been trying to design PCBs for this thing for a long time now, but hopefully we can get this down. I should probably order it within the next month and design it and get all this worked out. But by then, the code should be working, and we'll be working on the aerodynamics of the shuttle and an official design of what this thing is going to look like. Because, I mean, you guys are probably like,
what is the shuttle or glider or whatever this thing is going to look like?
It's probably going to look something close to the space shuttle. Obviously not the real thing, because that would be extremely stupid. I mean, even though the real space shuttle is cool, we got to condense it down so that it does have the right mass, moment of inertia, and all this other physics stuff. So without further ado, without complicating you guys too much more, I think I'm going to end it off here. That is where I am with this project. I will be doing once a week updates with this project. I hope you guys don't mind. If you want more updates, then please smash that like button, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get updates on not just this project, but all sorts of weather information, like hurricanes, tornadoes, education videos on weather and stuff. So if you're interested in weather and this project and science and technology and learning code and whatever, then I suggest you subscribe to the channel for more content just like that, because I can guarantee that's the content that you're gonna get. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.